for chair.
Oh, you must, we're getting a weird feedback off of yours. Why don't you just go ahead and get out of Zoom altogether and just do it on the phone? Okay. All right.
Well, then she can't see this. She's got to be able to be on Zoom
Oh.
to see this.
She can pull it up on
Or you can still look at the pictures if you want to.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Okay,
go to
cool.
Facebook.
Okay.
You
No,
can pull
I
us up on
can pull
Facebook.
Y'all don't worry about it. Let's just get this thing started. So if y'all will go ahead and list who all is in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Mitzi, McClure,
Reverend Hodges.
Kathy Nixon.
Lisa, Sunderland.
and Sarah Sutton.
Wonderful, yay. So the first thing on the agenda, I'm sure, is to review our last minute's meetings.
Yes.
Was there any changes or additions needed?
We don't have a copy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We have a new person. She's learning her job.
Sarah said.
And Tracy.
Okay, well, you know what? Well, why don't we table that till the next meeting?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Okay. So, next on the agenda, I've taken is old business.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to pull up my,
It says update on Arts Festival.
Yeah.
is one of them I would think would be talking about the marina, how that was going.
It wasn't, on here, but that's great to talk about. What's on here right now is update on Arts Festival and review of the logos that you sent us.
Okay, cool. We can do that right now.
Okay. All right, and we've got them on the screen, so we can look at it.
And the question is it for 2025 or 2026?
That's the art festival.
26.
The 26 is the Arts Festival?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we had a question about that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
That's
just
the
moving
mural
ahead.
up on
Oh, that's the
screen.
mural that's up there.
Mural.
Oh, okay, the mural's up on the screen.
So, Bonnie,
Yeah.
I sent y'all the logos.
Yes, so we're gonna talk about, she did
Some
email us the
time
logos.
previously.
Yes.
I do have them pulled up on my computer. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, I think they're all fabulous. Yeah, the only comment I had on, if we do the food, music, culture and history, then, I think we either get rid of the word and, but we need to follow with the same periods, like we have food period, music period, then cultural and history. So,
Is there art in this too though? Cause that doesn't say anything about art.
no, that, neither of them, yeah.
None of them do.
Mhm.
I just didn't like the one on the left. It looks too much like St. Patty's Day to me.
I thought so too, Kathy. I thought that's funny.
Okay,
I thought it
well,
looked more like a food festival
It does.
only.
yeah, because of all the
Only
forks
says
and,
all
yeah,
night in school.
so.
Just,
Actually, I think I still loved, because we all came up with as a group, the weaving flavors, traditions and stories. But you know, I don't know if people will recognize what that means. Weaving
I think
flavor.
we know what it is, but I kind of
Yeah,
think the bottom one actually outlines it, and
Yeah.
then we just add art, food, music, or art, culture, if you want to do it alphabetically, or I don't care how it goes.
yeah.
That or whatever,
And I don't think we need to use an and percent at all. Just put a period after each one. Art, food, music, culture, history. And then,
so let's go around the table.
Yeah,
So
what do y'all
that
think?
everybody's represented. Kathy, what are your thoughts? You're the artist in the group, or one of the artists in the group.
well, my thought is the one on the left looks like St. Patty's Day and it just doesn't float my boat. And I agree with them. It looks like a food fest. I like the other two. The only problem I have with the other two is that the one on top doesn't really jump out as much as the one on the bottom.
Right.
I think the one on the top, the bottom just really jumps out at you and it makes you want to look at it.
Mhm.
But I do like the little thing up on the first one that says weaving flavors, traditions and stories. I don't see where that would be a problem for people to understand that, because we do weave flavors, traditions and stories. I mean, that's what Beaufort is, and the weaving, most people know what that is. So I don't think that would really be an issue as far as being able to interpret it. And I agree, we need to remove the and just put a period there if we're gonna use that.
Yeah, just adding to that, there's no reason why we can't have that banner underneath this. That
Yeah,
says
just
we
move the
meet
banner
flavors,
down.
traditions.
I do think we need the word art in there, I might.
Oh, yeah, definitely add art.
Cause it's not neither
Yeah.
Yeah.
any of them really.
Yeah.
I thought the art was gonna be a big part of it.
Well,
We
it
have
is,
art
it is
show.
for that particular one, yeah.
So, yeah, I think we need to add that in now without oversight, but I think art.
Okay.
Well, it could say weaving art, flavors, traditions, and stories.
Yeah, and what I would also do from a depth design perspective, if we're going more with the bottom, then we add kind of that banner or whatever at the bottom.
Yeah.
I would really emphasize, I would take the Taste of Beaufort and make it smaller. So you see Taste Beaufort.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just from the design, I think that would be, you know what I'm saying, that would kind of jump at you more.
Uh-huh,
The of is just kind of, yeah, I mean, I get where we need of.
yeah. Who designed this?
Sean did.
Sean did, they're, all three of them are great. Yeah, I kinda, well, let's hear, Sarah, do you have a thought?
No, it's up to y'all. Personally, I think you need that and, cause that's just grammatically proper, but
Who said marketing was proper?
Well, you know, what about if we took that top one, cause I like the
Yeah.
top one better. But what if we took the top one and gave it a background color like the bottom?
I don't know whether that font is as easily readable as the bottom one's so clean.
Yeah.
We can certainly, I mean, the answer is yes, you could do that. But one of the things you want to make sure is that, you know, somebody doesn't get hung up on really seeing what it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
What about you, Reverend Hodges?
I think the bottom right, is more distinct, it pops right out at you.
Yeah.
The one on the top of that has potential. One on the far left, it doesn't say what you're trying to say because of the fork, knife, and spoon. If there were other items in those slots, it could work, but
And I think the Taste of Beaufort, if the color were different on the top one, it's that sort of orangey browny color just gets lost.
Why don't we ask Sean to take these suggestions? And have something for us that he can just send out in the next 2 weeks or so. Would that work, Sarah?
yeah.
I can see if it works with his schedule for the 2 weeks. But
Okay.
I'll take these changes to him and see what he can do.
Okay.
Yeah, if he could
Cool.
just, you know, remove the St. Patty's Day and then kind of play with our ideas. I wouldn't mind even if he took like even the background off of Taste of Beaufort and then did the logo just to see what that would look like. I'm not in favor of that orange.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, you know, because you have to think about, and Sarah, you know a lot about this, is in t-shirts.
Mhm.
You know, so what are the t-shirts gonna look like, or do we sell t-shirts?
Yeah.
Currently at Taste, no, we don't sell any merchandise because it doesn't sell.
Okay.
But if that's something that you wanna change to do like a reusable bag or a t-shirt or wine glass, to promote your festival, that's something that we can look at for pricing and budget wise.
We can also look at it just for the staff, for workers,
Yes.
to have them.
Yeah, that's all I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that might be nice in a way of enticing volunteers. Depending on what the budget is. Sarah, I know this is February, so next month is when y'all go and take the budget for this to to city, is that correct?
Possibly, but we need a budget from you guys of a
Okay.
breakdown of what you think the festival or the additions that you wanna make would cost to work that into our budget.
I think we have from the, Washington Street Park, I think we've got a ballpark that they sent a while back.
Mhm.
And then I think as far as the arts festival, or whatever, I need to look at that because there's some actual revenue that will come in with that because of, with the gallery and being able to sell, space for the artist and stuff. So I think that might be something I might need, Mitzi and whoever wants to help me in the next 2 weeks. I think we could get that too. I don't think it's that hard. I mean, it's gonna be a guesstimate.
And I know our budget is due this week on Thursday,
Well, that's nice. What's today?
Wednesday.
No problem. Would you share, the portion of your budget that has to do with Taste of Beaufort? So that way then, that gives the format and kind of what you need to be looking for
Yeah,
to be able to create it.
I can see if we have one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great. And then, whoever wants to help me with this, I would,
I'm more than
That would be
likely
great.
to, next week's good for me, unless you wanna have it by tomorrow. I was gonna say next week's good for
I think we
me.
have to have it back tomorrow.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Is that right, Sarah?
If you can, that would be greatly appreciated, but I know it's time consuming to think of all the aspects, infrastructure, sound, performances, all that fun stuff. So if you want to work it into next week, I think we can probably do that.
Okay, could you give us a deadline so us really busy people will actually make it happen as opposed to,
Right.
I would say Wednesday next week.
I'm sorry, what, say it?
Wednesday next week.
Okay, that sounds fabulous.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I can help. I'll get help.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And it'd be good to share with the whole committee, before too. So everybody can have input.
Depending on the days, I can have
What
some
do you have, on Friday? Is it a bad day?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Actually, no, it's not a bad day, just the morning. I could do
Okay.
the afternoon,
okay, yeah, that sounds good. The USCB is, the film festival right now, so one of the things I'm doing is actually working from home.
Mhm.
Because, yeah. So I could meet you anywhere. We don't wanna meet there.
Okay,
Can we come up to any of the city offices, Sarah? Would that be okay? We just need a table and a time, and then whoever wants to join, Lisa and I can.
yeah, I think
That
Nancy
sounds
wants
good.
to come, yeah.
Okay. Sarah, can we do one of those little meeting spots?
So in our office at 500, we have a couple spots that are
That
open.
sounds good.
If you just give me a time, I can put you on the schedule.
Okay, do y'all wanna say 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock?
Two would work better.
Two's good, two's good.
2 on Friday?
Uh-huh.
Is that a?
Got it. Okay. I'll be
Yes,
out of
yeah.
the house by then.
That is at 500 Carteret Street,
Okay,
and it's
good.
gonna be the second floor.
All right, we will find it.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to come is welcome, and, I'll gather up what I do know, and y'all are welcome to gather up anything you know.
Sounds good.
But I do think if we had a format that you needed in, that would
Yeah.
be great.
Okay.
That would be very helpful. Okey doke.
Okey dokey. So next on the agenda, please, what we got?
Next on the agenda, let's see, we did the. So that was, have we updated on the arts festival then, was review of logos, so
Logo and budget, yeah.
then we go to new business?
Did you wanna do,
Or we
I don't know if
can
that's all
talk about the
Old business.
mural. I think that'd be old
I think it's
business.
old business, let's add that, we're adding an agenda item, we're adding, a mural,
Okay.
Discussion,
Yeah, so I don't really know where we are with that.
okay,
Do y'all?
yes, that's what we're gonna talk about.
Good.
Sarah's gonna update us.
Yeah, so it was taken to council in January, and they seemed good with it. We met with Julia last week, and we have a tentative time that she's going to be here to do the mural, in May, possibly the end of April, just depending on her schedule. The only thing she needs from us is the refreshment of changes that you guys wanted, with the mural.
The first question, is it painted directly on the building or will it be on a panel?
It's painted directly on the building.
Okay, cool. What were the changes that we wanted?
We have a picture of it on the building, wasn't there that image of it?
I
on
think
the
one of
building?
the things was
Yeah.
Beaufort, we
Where's
wanted
that
it
one?
moved up and to the right a little bit more, into the
Up in the-
trees.
Oh, okay, yeah, so you could see the view.
Yeah, so you could see the view, and the question was, which one did we like better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was.
So
Oh,
there-
and again, that was another one, did we want it to go all the way across?
So we are gonna incorporate it across with the tree like that. Because that gives us the opportunity to possibly extend it in the future,
Okay.
and make additions.
I thought that one up there, the top one had the changes that we wanted, in it, didn't it? What that was?
Well, let's look at, the Beaufort's a different color, it's orange
Oh,
versus
that's right, we
yellow.
wanted, it was. a
So it
different
stands
color.
out better than it does.
It still needs to be moved up in the trees and to the right a little bit, so you can see the actual,
Yeah, because it is kind of on top of the bird too, and
it's
on top of the,
everything, kind of
yeah.
distracts terribly. And then I guess the next question is, if you'll move down to option 2 and 3.
Yeah, maybe you just even move the wording to the other side of the, can you just write that over there?
Exactly.
There you go.
That's it.
Just move it over.
And the
Alright,
idea,
so that
It's
this is
just, they're
it.
trying to get Instagram viral.
yes, and the idea of it is like a
I
postcard
know,
from Beaufort, so you want Beaufort, South Carolina
yeah.
in the center in the photos.
Alright, so is this the one on the bottom, the one that we've selected?
I do not believe so.
I thought we selected the one that's on the building that we had her make.
Okay,
the change.
okay, so go
That's
back
what
up.
Go back
Because
up.
that's what I just got
Linda and
confused, they
I
look too
seem to
similar.
believe that it
Okay,
is
gotcha.
the option 2 scenery that's not on the building with
Mhm.
the cottage and the path,
Yeah,
but the waterfront, we think you guys wanted it to look more like the waterfront that we have. With the ballards and buildings and all that fun stuff.
I remember a discussion saying it looked a little bit like Charleston
Yes.
skyline. And we
Yeah.
needed the buildings to look more.
this one definitely looks too much like, because the buildings are so vertical, which is more Charleston than ours.
Well, it just looks like a generic low country. It could be
Right.
anywhere from the bottom of Georgia to
Yeah,
Wilmington, North Carolina.
yeah, and that's the danger with trying to add, landmarks to something.
Yeah.
But some kind of a landmark would be good. At least it would identify it as Beaufort.
Yeah, and I think, the concern I remember we,
The flora too, we said that those didn't look like our local flowers, right?
Right.
Did we think
Right.
about that,
Mhm.
just trying to remember what we had said.
Yeah, and I think we'd probably have to make some recommendations of what kind of flower we'd want to use.
Azaleas, daylilies. I mean, those are predominant around here. Azaleas, of course, are big, but of course that runs the spectrum too. But most all of our flowers would.
Yeah. I think.
Everybody loves the daffodil.
Yeah,
we're
daffodils are
They almost
good.
look like daffodils what's on there, but
They look like
No,
morning
Those are
glories.
not daffodils.
actually, right now I'm into camellias.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I think that skyline does look too much like Charleston. It's,
It does.
our buildings are more lower
That
Yeah.
discussion.
hipped.
Yeah.
wanted to make sure we got her the.
Yeah, I think those are agapanthus, but they're the wrong colors.
Mm,
But, and I don't know what those yellow,
They could just be
And
made
I
up.
think they're just.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
just generic.
Okay.
Something to put
So
in there.
Reverend Hodges, I know you're in a room filled with women. Do you have any comments as we discuss flowers?
You know, I thought we had settled on it before. I don't know, I had notes from the previous meetings, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you kind of in agreement with what we're saying then?
Right,
That it
yeah,
looked too much
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
Charleston and the buildings, and that the color of of the type of flower may need to change? Okay.
Yeah, I think because this kind of got held up for a while for various and sundry reasons. I think it's kind of, we're basically having a refresh
yeah.
moment on what we said. And, Sarah, what did you say? When is she gonna be here?
So the goal is May 6th through the 12th or the end
Okay.
of April.
Do we need to send her some photos of our skyline so that she sees the differences?
Yeah, so I'll
Good
go
idea.
back to her with these changes. And with a couple photos of the skyline, the waterfront, just so she can get an idea of it.
Yeah.
We couldn't locate the notes for the changes, so that's why we're having to bring it up again.
Well, that's good to refresh.
Yeah.
So,
And she will have a final to us in a little bit. Right now, she is doing a 3-week apprenticeship, so her communication and her access and time is kind of taken right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But she'll have us the final image. We do recommend putting South Carolina
yes.
Yeah.
under
There's two
Beaufort.
Beaufort,
Yeah. So
Um,
not to be confused with both.
Yes.
and we'll work with her to get that so it's visible and it doesn't blend into any
It
of
really does need to go up and to the right though, get it, so we've got more of the artwork showing, but it's big, I mean, you're not gonna miss it.
And it doesn't
And it
have
might-
to be full South Carolina.
Maybe SC.
Yeah.
Oh, I like South
Well, I do
Carolina.
too, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
that
If you want
ends
to
up
have-
covering everything.
Yeah, I think we discussed that too, that it could be SC.
Well, hopefully the painting, yes, I agree with the ST or the South Carolina, but hopefully because she's gonna be a little spot on as to what our skyline looks like and, hopefully somewhere in there, I always think of the skyline also with the churches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over anyhow. So, I mean, I hope it'll also for those they'll recognize it just by looking down the street.
Yes.
Yes.
So am I correct, or are we correct in thinking that option 2 is the right option? Or did you guys choose option 1?
Using
I
ourselves.
think, no,
I
I
thought we
think-
chose the one that was up on the building, I thought.
Yeah.
The one on the
I think
building
we
says
made the
South Carolina.
changes, and then the changes we made are the ones she did on the top
I
building,
think so.
Yeah.
because we combined a lot of them.
Yeah, we
What's-
put the
what's
Cambridge out.
Missing is actually this house.
It's
Not in there unless it goes in.
It
paint's
is, but
in,
it's on the other
inset.
side of the stork. If you wanna, I have it zoomed in on my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, and see that the heron on the left has been reduced a little bit, I mean, it's
Yeah,
huge
And he's
down the
been
bottom.
brought down and this has
Yeah.
been raised
And we
up.
don't have all that, the flowers and the greenery and all that.
Much
it's a-
better.
It's much better, it's a lot more subtle.
And it says South Carolina and it's spelled out and it's not extremely visible though, but then with the
But it's huge,
size,
so
it will
it'll be
be.
visible, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I think it's just the skyline
Yeah.
that we have a concern about.
Yeah, and I like what they put behind the heron too, they've got some of that greenery, which pops the heron,
I like that.
which is
Y'all
kind
can't
of,
really see that,
washed
but
in
yeah,
at
but
the
if you
bottom.
look down, it does have the house on that side, to make sure you're okay with that.
I'm so fun.
You see the
Does
house
she have the
behind the
house?
burner now?
Oh, that's the blue house. I was talking about the house on the right
Yeah.
behind the oak tree.
she's talking about this one.
Yeah, that
Is
was.
There's no house there.
There are 2 different images.
Okay, so yeah, And that, you know what,
I'm
I
okay
think
with
it's,
that.
I think it's really nice.
The one on the building?
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like it.
The one that she has marked on the building?
I think.
Yeah, the one that you've
Okay.
got up here, and
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
with some adjustment to the skyline.
Okay,
Here's another thought. What are we gonna do about painting the right side?
so it's gonna be left alone
That's what I was
for
afraid
the
you'd
time
say.
being. But there's always the option and opportunity to add on to it in the years to come.
Not
Well, what
budgeted
I-
yet.
I guess I'm not
That's what
clear.
you're saying.
I guess I wasn't clear about it. My thoughts from the
Yeah.
art perspective. That right-hand side needs to be painted because once you paint over it, you can't go back in and fill all those little spaces, but just a solid color. It doesn't have to have artwork, but I think a nice solid color that
Compliments.
complements and works with that.
The new
Because
mural.
right now, if you just leave it,
You don't want it white, you want it like a
I
another
don't,
color?
I'm not saying it has to be a color, I'm
But
just
it's
saying
white
it
now.
has to be painted and clean. So the
Yeah, sure.
color is, we
Both
can
sides, yeah.
decide, that's optional. But it should not be left alone.
Good point, good point.
Yeah,
I think we would be slapping ourselves in the face if we did that.
Right,
You
so
got a
that would
beautiful
come back at us.
mural and then that thing hadn't been painted in 20 years
Yeah,
or more.
and so will the artist's signature be visible anywhere, or have y'all discussed that?
I'm sure it will be, but we'll make
Yeah.
sure that her signature is on there.
Okay, somehow, I didn't know, it could be a little plaque, it could be
Yeah.
anything, you know, I just
And-
wanna make sure.
That other side of the building was not included in the,
Estimate,
yes,
but it's a
So-
good suggestion, and from a maintenance
It
perspective.
it is, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't recall that it's looking that bad, but I'm not.
it's been a
Yes.
while.
I don't think it is, and maybe just a good wash,
Yeah,
but she'll also clear coat it and make sure it has all the protective coatings.
on that.
And I hope we
on that
don't
side.
have the same problems we have.
Well, thank God it's not made of wood.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and it's gonna be,
Yeah, and I feel like
Fantastic.
we're hiring somebody that this is not her first rodeo.
yeah,
So, I think when we did the benches, we thought we had done our research, but I think by the time we got back with adding our climate and 15 other things, it's been an experiment.
sure. Well, and I think with this, I'm assuming she'll do a primer, she'll do all of those things that will ensure the longevity of it, so.
I think one thing we thought we were getting a little bit of a bonus because whereas we hadn't really planned and budgeted for it to do the other side of the building, she did kind of just not abruptly stop it. She carried that tree over
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, I
We got
like
a, we
that.
got a little bonus,
We did.
so. for our money.
Yeah. That's good. It's definitely gonna be beautiful. No question about it.
I think so, be very nice.
So I'll take these back to her and then we'll get a final rendering,
Cool.
and go from there.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate it. The discussion was great. Are y'all ready to move on to new business?
absolutely.
So we're gonna talk about those benches. I know that we've got one in storage and it was the one that's at, it was at the chamber, but, or at the arsenal. And now it's in storage with the county and it is a Santa Elena one.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, I think that one's one that's gonna have to go back to Bones and come back. Well, I had reached out to Ginger to look at the one at the, Reconstruction Museum.
mhm,
And, I'll reach back out because it doesn't look any different than when I talked to her. So see whether, she was thinking that she could clean and touch.
mhm.
So let me reach back out to her. So Kathy, the other one at the Arsenal, how is it looking?
I'll have to look. I haven't paid much attention to it. I have been so swamped with everything.
I thought there was one there that has been redone.
But yeah, I was gonna say, one of them, I was gonna
Well,
say it doesn't
something
make any
is
difference,
redone.
but I think something has happened to one of them.
Yes, the Forest Gump one and all, it's redone, it looks great.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Okay. And then I have not been to the one that is, and Sarah, you may be able to help me, but the one that Dragon Boat did, that's by the day dock, how does that one look?
I think that one's okay, isn't it?
I don't remember. It may need to be repainted, just a refresh, because if you're refreshing the other ones, in the same area, you'll be able to tell what's been
Yeah, done.
redone and what hasn't been.
I will, get, how about I get a photograph of that and, get it to you, within the next 24 hours, the Dragon Boat one.
Well, it's raining.
Yeah,
out.
if you, that's what I was thinking, that maybe
I'll get it
tomorrow,
24 hours.
or Friday before the,
Okay, I'll do that
maybe
before
I'll
Friday.
walk about it, I just haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'd be a good idea if we
I'll
all
get
just
that.
kind of rode through and took a look and
Yeah,
checked out all
I'll
of them.
take photographs of all the ones on my daily walk.
Oh, wonderful,
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ace's daily walk, I should say.
Well, yeah,
I know that
The,
one.
because he'll
the
stop at
one-
each bench.
The one at USCB's been redone, I think we're on this is the third time.
Yeah.
And so, and each time we keep thinking we've got the solution, so I'm not real sure. But that's something that the Center for the Arts will take care of. We're not gonna,
Okay.
Okay,
you know,
because Reverend Hodges, don't we
Yeah.
have the Black Baptist Church one that we need to have
We'll have to
redone?
do that, yeah, and we'll take care of the
You wanna
expense
take
on
care of
it.
that
I mean,
one?
we'll take care of the expense of it, but,
Oh,
Then it
I
does
had,
need to be.
oh, yeah, we
Because that one has to
contacted
be
the
done.
artist originally, and he said that he would be able to do it. Then at another point, he said he had some health concerns, so I don't
Uh-oh.
know where it's at with that.
So maybe
The
it's
back
just
is in
touching
good
up
shape,
what's already
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Mitzi, do you walk by the Black Chamber?
I can. The Black Chamber,
Yeah, I-
that one, we need the Black Chamber.
I thought that one looked pretty
It seemed to
good.
look.
It looks pretty good,
Yeah.
like riding by.
It does, but I haven't
Yeah.
gotten out to look at that one, but I think that one's a very visible one because of the building, the white building, so. that's
And-
great. But,
And Sarah, what's been happening with, I know the digital corridor wanted to redo theirs, but do we know where we are with that?
The last I remember in passing conversations is that we are waiting for whomever to change the design because it looked more like an advertisement than an art bench.
Right.
Got it. I'll reach out. I know Brian Canada was working on that. I'll work out, I'll send him an email and see if he can give me an update on where they are. So, yeah, no, that sounds like a great thing. If we can share the pictures, then we'll kind of have an idea of what we need to do. And, like I said, if Reverend Hutton's taking care of his, and if we can, the Center for the Arts can take care of ours, then, maybe it won't be quite a big expense.
I think Reverend Hodges, though, is looking for another potential artist,
We
right?
may have to consider someone else if Simmons can't do it. But we'll take care of the expense, so yeah.
But you might need help in finding an artist, is what he's saying.
Got it. That we should be able to do. Yeah. So, okay, well, anything else I'd like to discuss regarding the benches? Y'all good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
check, one last thing, I will check there at the museum, and if you don't hear from me, it has been cleaned up and it looks good. Otherwise, I'll send you a picture.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking that on.
You
So,
are
the
welcome.
additional board seats, we were doing pretty good on trying to get before city council, to discuss, to let them know our thoughts on it. Which the thoughts was, it would just be nice to add the Freedman Art District, and it would also be nice to add another at-large person as we try to, grow and do more, since we're all so very, very busy. So, I think we had already agreed to this. Isn't that correct, Sarah?
Yes, from the video I watched, it sounded like y'all agreed to it.
Okay. So I began the process of, writing out why we wanted it. But then we found out that, the next board meeting, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, not the next board meeting, but we could not get on the agenda for the work session that was this month.
Correct.
So because it was covered up, I think with the, people vying for the marina, the waterfront park / marina committee.
Yes.
So, I think we're trying again for next month, is that correct?
Yes, fingers crossed, it will be on the March 11th work session,
Got it.
as long as we have that letter.
What has changed, guys? I don't know if y'all know, they used to have like at least 2 work sessions a month. But they've cut that down now, seriously, right, just to 1,
Yes.
Yeah,
which is kind of just slowing the process when there are things like what we need to do. And the way you need to go before work session and then go to council.
right.
So, we'll just have to pray we can get in as, if we didn't make it last month, you would think they would put us higher on the list for this next month. There's that a nod.
She didn't even look up.
Possibly. I will have to check with Linda on that.
Okay, yeah, I just a little disappointed because I know that all this is we have to do 2 readings, is that correct? So even if we get
Yes.
in March, we're still looking at May before this could even begin.
Yes.
So, there you go. Anybody have any other thing they'd like to add regarding the adding of board seats?
And I think, like you said, it would be really beneficial to get it done as soon as possible, especially when we're having the art festival coming up, because I think that they would have a lot that they can help us with.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Are we pinpointing any particular skills from, or connections or some such thing to the board member?
I do not think that the at-large position that Mitzi has or whatever, that there was anything more specific. I think that's what the interview process does. Is
Yeah.
there something you want to suggest, Kathy?
No, I was just wondering if there was anything in particular we were looking for, any particular skill in who we were bringing on board. Is there gonna be a shop owner, or is it gonna be at large? I mean, do we know exactly what we're looking for? Or we're just shooting in the dark and hoping for the best?
Well, I know we wanted somebody specifically from the Freedmen's Art District.
That's one position, right?
I think from my standpoint or whatever, I think that there's lots of people that, or maybe not, hopefully there's lots of people that are just trying to get involved, and especially with organizations that are trying to do more in the downtown area. So hopefully it will be somebody that's looking to get involved in what maybe because of the arts festival, we're gonna start doing with the city, or maybe because of the culture that we bring. But I kind of feel like, that, that's more in the interview process, but mentally, I don't have a shop owner. I don't have I know there's just some people who have expressed interest to me that are more just community and downtown minded, that live in, the Northwest Quadrant, and some of them live, Pigeon Point and that area. So, that just want to be more involved.
Okay, so at large.
Yeah, that's the
Truly
at large.
Yes.
They do have to be a resident of the city though.
Right,
To serve
right.
on the boards and
Right.
commissions, so I think
Okay.
that's the.
No, that's fine.
Primary.
That's fine. I was just curious about that.
Yeah, no, it's very at large. At least that's my thoughts. If y'all want to narrow it down, we can, but I think that might kind of hurt our possible involvement by some people.
Now, I think we need to just leave it at large and see what we have, because I would like to think we do have people in the community that are interested in getting involved.
Mhm.
I think that's what we
Oh,
should
yeah.
be encouraging,
Absolutely, and we need more hands on deck too.
and a lot more hands on it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Well, I know we usually take a moment and go around the table and talk about what's happening with our organizations, and then Sarah, if you could fill us in on anything with the city. So Sarah, why don't we start with you?
She's speechless.
I am. I am beginning to get a handle on Cdab, and get everything into
Okay.
order. If you wanna, the cultural arts district,
Oh, cultural arts
District.
advisory
Yeah.
board, Cdab, okay.
if you have any updates or any notes on the arts festival that you think will be pertinent to the city helping, I'd be more than happy to accept those notes.
Well, I think we basically got that when we did the document that Lise really helped us with.
Okay.
I think we've got a purpose and a mission. I think we've got all those things. It's just, we just need to pull it out and put it in the right place for you.
Okay.
So who wants to go next?
Hi, it's Mitzi, member at large. Everything's, I think, fine in the city as far as I can tell so far. Had the mermaid decorated that's my main deal for Valentine's Day, and yep, she's gonna get her Mardi Gras back on, and then it'll be St. Patrick's Day.
All is well at Tabernacle. We've been a little busy there with a few things, getting ready to begin some restoration work, mainly on the steeple and up top. It's really scheduled to begin in February. That's based on completing some projects that the contractor was working on, but it's just that close. Been a lot going on with the school district and others. They just had a conference last week, and the whole theme was on Harriet Tubman, untold stories. And so Tabernacle played a great role in that. So it was a great event. A lot of people in the city here.
Kathy Mixon, Beaufort History Museum, and I think Lisa and I probably did.
Yeah, we are. We are.
I think we could be officially labeled that.
Yeah, we're actually not here.
We're not here. We are working very hard overtime, late at night, early in the morning, but everything on the museum side is really starting to come together. And it's getting to be more and more exciting now, and because we can see light at the end of the tunnel, there's a lot more smiles. But yeah, so we are ready, and it's gonna be the ball. We're supposed to meet with Linda Roper in the city to talk about the lights that we're gonna be stringing across the top, so it'll be well lit. And then I'm meeting with Ladies Island Garden Club, and we're gonna be down there looking at what kind of greenery and flowers, decorations that we can put in there, and how it'll work, and you know, the details, and we're working on menus, and so, you know, there's just so many details. And then, of course, we're doing the 4th grade day is invitation only, because the fire marshal will only allow 150 people in the arsenal. So obviously we can't have every 4th grader in Beaufort County. But so we had to select some, and we've picked 4 schools, and we're getting all of that together and getting their t-shirt orders in.
And that's the 21st.
And that's the 21st,
Of March.
and yeah, and then on the 22nd, we're gonna have Kids Day at the museum or at the Arsenal, and we've closed off Craven Street. And we're going to have 3 battles, a reenactment of the Battle of the Island of Port Royal, because the Battle of Port Royal is, of course, Civil War. So the Battle of Port Royal Island is the American Revolution. And we're looking for at least 50 students to be in each one, divide them up into patriots and loyalists, and it's gonna be all marked off, and we're gonna have all kinds of props, and they're gonna have these expensive, realistic hats, and they're gonna have authentic looking muskets, and there will be no real bullets and no harm to anybody. Everything is gonna be kid safe, family safe. There'll be no problem with any of that. But it's being scripted out, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun. And then the next day I am gonna go home and close the curtains, and I don't wanna hear from anybody.
That's right. lots of stuff. Well, that just leads right into, and I'm passing around, Bonnie, information on the whole Lafayette, bicentennial festivities. We've got posters, I've got, a breakdown of all the activities happening in March. So y'all can see that, and I'll send it all to you, Miss Bonnie. And what we've got
Can you
with
get
the
that?
Lafayette Bicentennial
It's a little
Committee,
longer than mine.
it is amazing. And, we've got over, right now, there are 65 different folks are serving in some sort of capacity with the Bicentennial Committee, doing various different programs and projects as a part of it. And then our key sponsors, 19 of them are listed on the poster. And those guys have put up money or have a specific income project that they're doing as a part of it. But, everything really will kick off next week. I'll be getting our traveling history panels about Lafayette. We'll go first to Beaufort City Hall. And so they'll be in the lobby of City Hall, and they'll be there for 5 days, at that location. Then they're going to move to USCB to be wherever you need them put, Bonnie, at USCB in the lobby. And then they'll go to the Beaufort History Museum and will be displayed. And then they'll end up back at the John Mark Badier House for the week of the 18th for the big celebration and activities that are going on. But March kicks off initially with a dinner and a lecture with Bill Davies, an amazing historian on Lafayette in South Carolina, and that'll be at the John Mark Badier House. Also that evening, the Beaufort County Library is doing a flag making program as a part of all this for kids and adults. And then a special exhibition will begin at the Badier House in the footsteps of Lafayette, an artistic expression sponsored by Elevate Art. And then First Friday, Sarah, this is what you and Linda and I are working on. We're going to kick off with a kids period costume contest that night with the mayor dressed up as Lafayette, and sort of do a formal kickoff of the activities. And then the library picks up again on the 12th with all kinds of things, and they've come up with a great program waiting for Lafayette, because Lafayette was supposed to have arrived on the 18th at 10 a.m. but hit a sandbar, so had to wait 12 hours before he could get here. So he didn't get here till after 10 o'clock at night. So what were people doing during the day? So they've come up with that. And then we have a really neat program planned, How Liberty Found a Country, Conversations with the Historian and the Marquis. Mark Schneider is the renowned Lafayette impersonator from Colonial Williamsburg. So he will be here on Monday the 17th. We're going to be at the Parish House at St. Helena, and that can seat about 200 people. And he's going to Lafayette will have an in period conversation with a today historian, Dr. John McCardle. And I think that'll be really, really unique and interesting. On March 18th is when everything comes together, and we recreate the day that Lafayette was supposed to have, arriving at 10 o'clock by boat to the waterfront, 13-gun salute, the cannon salute, the Marine Corps, fife and drum, Marine Corps vocalists singing Hail Columbia, the St. Andrew's Society, there's so many different groups involved, will have bagpipes and do a bagpipe sort of welcome and introduction. And then we proceed to a parade that leads down Bay Street that will have Lafayette, and we'll have all dignitaries, and the school is busing in, the Beaufort County School District is busing in 200 fifth graders who are making their own torches to line the parade, because historically, since it happened at night, there were kids with torches up and down the street. Now, of course, these will be paper torches, but they will have torches and will be a part of that parade. And we have the color guard from the Marine Corps, the color guard from the Sons of the American Revolution involved. So that's going to be a really amazing special day. So they'll end up at the Badier House, and when they get to the Badier House, then all the various dignitaries will make presentations. Lafayette will finally address from the Video House and will unveil a Lafayette trail marker. We're a part of the trail of 24 states that Lafayette visited in 1825. And then on Scott Street, we closed for living history demonstrations, SAR, DAR, the Coastal Heritage Society out of Savannah. Also, the Beaufort County Library and Revolution Ballroom will be there to demonstrate and teach ballroom dancing. So it's going to be a really, really, really fun time. We're going out also to the homeschools and parochial schools and private schools too, who are wanting to be a part of this as well. So Kathy's going to have a Lafayette display at the museum along with when she has the banners, but she'll still have one. And then let's see, then that evening is the Dancing with Lafayette that the Beaufort History Museum is sponsoring in the Arsenal courtyard. And then we'll do a formal farewell to Lafayette following that. So it is going to be a fun, full day. Lots of activity, a real community event, parade, the living history, all of that is free of charge. There are minimal charges like $30 for the different lectures, or what is y'all's to get into the dance?
It's $40 to get into the day,
So the advance, because they are providing refreshments.
Yeah.
So that basically just covers
which is
that.
why.
Yeah, and we've had proclamations from the city, from the House, from the Senate, and from Beaufort County just a week ago, designated the month as Lafayette Month in the state as well as in Beaufort. So an amazing celebration that the community has come together to create. We'll be looking for any other volunteers that want to help with setup and organization. We're going to have a triumphal arch that Amelia Cromer, Margaret Kinchlow, and Liz Blair are building with assistance from the various different garden clubs. And then the carriages are being decorated by the Ladies Island Garden Club. So it is a huge, huge undertaking, and we're just excited that it's going to be happening, and excited that it's just a month away.
I know, and I don't know, I don't know who pays Lisa, but she needs to have a week's vacation in the
Longer than a
islands
week.
after
Longer
this.
than a week.
All expenses
Speak
paid.
to son wine, you need
Okay.
All right, 2 weeks.
But anyway,
That's
lots of stuff.
absolutely wonderful, thank you guys. The Center for the Arts, as y'all know, have been under renovation for getting an elevator and restrooms. I can finally announce that we do have 2 full functioning restrooms inside. Yeah. But be leaving us sometime next week, which will help us with parking issues. And then the elevator is wrapping up, but we cannot be actually used until the state comes and gives the blessing that yes, it really does work. So not real sure when that will be, but it's been wonderful to get these renovations done, but you know, they've gone, as you could imagine, slower than we had hoped. But I appreciate Lisa and everybody that's been there being so kind about it. So
Absolutely.
And they're adult toilets. And not kindergarten anymore.
yeah, so anyhow, so good things there. We've still got some more shows coming, Dancing with Our Stars. We've got Gosh, the Shark is Broken, which is based on the making of Jaws, coming the end of this month. We've got Splish Splash, which is the music of Bobby Darin. Then Jonathan Green, actually his ballet with the South Carolina Ballet Company will be the end of March. And then we move into Beaufort Memorial's helping us with a breast cancer awareness from a tribute for Olivia Newton-John. She is the official Olivia Newton-John person endorsed by the family and by the American Breast Cancer Association. And then, you know, the kids are back with Alice in Wonderland. We'll have summer camps. Scott Brooks and I are working on Ain't Misbehaving for June. So, and then right now I'm literally at home, trying to book for next year. So just like everybody else, the fun keeps coming, and really happy to have such a great community to work in. So, but that's really the short end of what's going on with me. Is there anybody else that'd like to add anything?
Well, say, I've already bought my tickets for the ball because I mean, the price point, $40, and like you said, you're gonna be limited, right, by the
Yeah.
number. So I think you better go ahead and not sit on that. and
Yeah,
really
you
I agree.
better hurry up and do it because there's only 150 people now.
Yeah, and we have a long
Uh-uh,
list of
there's only
dignitaries.
148, because two of them have been bought.
So we're, that too. But we have closed off the street that night, so we do have a little overflow
Whoa.
space.
Get
But-
back in for that.
But, yeah, but,
You don't wanna be doing that.
we also have the dignitaries and the
Yeah.
city, that come at no expense, so we
Right.
have to kind of take back from the 150. So we've got 100 tickets on sale.
There you go.
So,
So,
yeah, and I just bought my ticket for the speech at the Deer House.
Oh, good. Yeah,
That's what I was doing.
yeah, and I think you
I
definitely.
saw they were available.
You would definitely want to do the Lafayette one too. I think that would be really cool.
This is the Lafayette.
Oh,
one,
well,
right?
no, but the Bill Davies, but the one
The Bill
on the
Davies.
17th, the night, oh, no, but you need to do the Mark Schneider one, the Lafayette impersonator one on the Monday night.
Okay.
Yeah, do
Let me
that
go
one.
back here. Where is that?
Okay.
So many tickets, so little time.
I know, right here.
Then write them all down.
How Liberty, that one.
But, if y'all need to continue ordering your ticket, but if because it's gonna be a great event, but if there isn't any more official business of the
Oh,
cultural
yes,
district,
we should adjourn.
I'd like to go ahead and move, to close our meeting.
Great,
I'll second that.
there you go.
Okay, yay, all those in favor?
Uh,
Okay.